Greetings, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Stephen McKenzie. If you want to learn more about me, go to the About page. Also, I've made an update there. I have some dates for my upcoming concerts if you live in the Seattle area. Anyway, we're going to continue with Sagreras. We're on lesson 58, and we'll see how far it goes. I'm just going to struggle through these with you. I'm not going to try to be polished. I want to get the content out. I'll tell you how I would approach these if I were learning them. So 58, I would start with the right hand first. So it's introduces 6/8 times. You get this bop, 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 and that's how it goes. So here I'll play it through very slowly. Okay, so as with the other things, I like to isolate, play right hand only. And so on. Now notice that Sagreras does have you play a rest stroke on the double stopped notes. And do it both ways. I would do it both ways for calisthenic. And when you're performing, you may want to use only free stroke, but you want to emphasize that note as if you're playing rest stroke. So it's good for helping you get in the zone to use all these different types of techniques, whether you're going to perform them that way or not. Then the other part are the chords themselves. And what I would do is, so it's just two. There's this one, and then this one. So the first one is E and C. The second one is F and D. And I would try to play them without lifting the E and C. And one thing will help you do that is adjusting your elbow position to whatever way makes it easier for you. And you do want to move the F as close to the fret as possible. I think that's the key thing to that one. 59 is a exercise in sequential planting, actually, and I'll refer you to the Giuliani video. And so here we'll play this. This is back to 2/4, or it is 2/4. Okay, so the hard parts here. First we'll talk about the bass is moving the most, so you want to interpret the bass. And when you're getting to this, when you see an accidental in the measure 5, that's creating tension. So that's probably where you want to be the most, maybe the loudest is one way to do it, but you want to interpret that, distinguish it from the rest of it. From 5 and 6, and then you're kind of resolving in 7 and 8. So there's the right hand exercise where you're going to plant your P and your A at the beginning. You're going to play P, then plant A, then plant M, then plant I. Then when you're going to play this, you're planting A, M, and I all at once, and so on. And then with your left hand, you can block the chords. So you're playing, and then with the left hand, you want to move fingers only when needed for the most part, okay? So you're gonna go, and then now you're just gonna put the 2 down. You can lift the 3, and then you're gonna move the 1 to the F, and then lift up, And then you're going to leave the 1 on the F and put the 3 down on the G. And then you're going to leave the 1 down on the F and put the B down on. And then you can lift the 2 if you, that'll make it cleaner and stop it from ringing. Now you're going to move the 1 back to the C and the 3 on the lower C. And now keep the C down on the 2nd string and put the 3 down. Now here's that tension. So you're going to put the 2 down and lift everything. And then you want to stress that. And then this is kind of a tricky chord. And this one here is the hardest of all. So you're going to put the 2 down, then the 3 and the 4, and play around with the sequence there. So yeah, that's practice going from here. Let's see. And then from here. So I'd say that measure 5, 6, 7, and 8 are harder than the first 4 measures. So the order in which you have to play, oops, I'm sorry, that's just a chord there. So it's go. So yeah, practice it right hand isolated, practice blocking the chords, practice this the more difficult chord shift. I'd also say that 5 to 6 is a hard one too. Okay, so that's it for that one. Number 60 is in 3/4, so it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and I'm sorry, it's 1 and 2 3 1 and 2 3 1 and 2 3. Okay. So make sure you respect the rest there. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and so it's go ahead and count that out. And then when you get to measure 1, actually the second measure is where it starts. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and yeah, and so you're supposed to keep these chords down in measure 2 and make the accompaniment quiet. So make the accompaniment quiet so it's quiet. Okay, so there you have this flat, so that's kind of the tension of the piece. So it's the dramatic part. So you're going to be going. And then you have to stop that A from ringing when you play that A flat. And respect you're going to stop you're going to play this, and then stop the C in the high C and play the low C again, and then stop both. Quiet. Quiet. That's a little bit exaggerated, but you can... anyway, so that's that one. I would concentrate on respecting the rests and playing the accompaniment in the 2/4 quietly, that pattern. Okay, should we keep going? 61. 61 is in 3/4, and it's a thumb exercise, really. So you want the bass is the melody in a sense. The bass is the moving part. So make sure you keep the accompaniment quiet. Okay, I got to figure out the fingering here. Let me start over. Sorry about that. I mean, if I practice this stuff, it'll take me too long. I just want to get the content out. So thanks for struggling through that with me. But let's talk about this. So he has you playing rest strokes in the thumb. You know, that's a good exercise, actually. And a good way to practice that is in my right hand articulation video with the Github to practice. And so on, and then at the simultaneous. So another thing that happens here is that the accompaniment shifts alignment, and I like to call out explicitly shifting as an exercise. It's not something you're going to do when you're playing. In fact, the Github says not to move your hand, but I think it's a good idea to practice keeping this large knuckle aligned over the string that you're playing with free stroke. But anyway, but be aware of the alignment changes. So we're starting on measure 1. And with thumb, you just reach back, right? Same strings. Now here we change in measure 9. So we went from accompaniment being on the 3rd and 4th string to accompaniment being on the 2nd and 3rd. Okay, so that's, if you can aware of that. Okay, now back to third and fourth for the accompaniment. Okay, here comes a sharp, so this is the tension. And by the way, at the same time, the alignment changes back to second and third string. Okay, now back to third and fourth. So that's interesting. So in 25 and 26, you're gonna make kind of a jump. There's no guide. You're gonna keep the so you're going to move the 2 to the B without moving the 3. And now you're going to do a flip-flop between the 2 and 3. So you're going to have them switch positions like that. Okay. So that one's fun. So I get everything. So if you wanted to, you could play it right-handed only. And then practice. So that's actually a good one to practice separated. But what I did wrong is I played the accompaniment too loud. So play the bass loud and the accompaniment quiet. Like that. Okay, then 62 is similar, only you're playing in 2/4 time, and you're playing IMA chords. So you're going to fully plant, and you should be on the other too, fully planting the IMA. But so 62. So he had you playing rest, stroke, and a thumb, which is a good thing to practice. I don't know that I would try to do it when I was playing. And then, so let's block these chords. So we got... And again, just move as needed. Now here, you're going to move the 1 to the G sharp and the 2 to the B. And then here, you just... no moving at all. And... lift up the 2 off the B to stop it from ringing. Then back to the A minor with the C in the bed. Oops. Okay, here's the tension with the C sharp. And then resolve. Okay, so that's that one. I guess going from here, you want to practice, and then so just think through the chord changes, moving fingers as needed, and explicitly think about what fingers you're going to move. I don't know if isolating helps that much on this one. Okay, now we're still in 2/4 on 63. And there's going to be some alignment changes in the accompaniment. So here again, like with 62, by the way, I forgot to mention that the chords shouldn't be as loud as the accompaniment. So before we move on, because it's the bass, it's... Okay, then 63. messed up there in measure 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, that's tricky because you're going from the third string in the bass to the fifth. So it's kind of a jump. So this one you might practice right hand only. So alignment, everything. Not back down. So yeah, that's a good one because especially towards the end, the last few measures, you're alternating from 5 to 3 in the thumb, and you're also this piece also you're switching in alignment with the accompaniment. So play the bass loud. Again, he's recommending rest strokes, which is good to practice. Keep the accompaniment quieter than the bass, and you can practice blocking some of the chords if you want. Yeah, I'd practice blocking and play it right-handedly, block, practice playing rest stroke and free stroke in the bass, practice playing the accompaniment softer than the bass when you're playing it. When you get to the, where do we create tension here? Everything stays in key here, but I would say that measure 9 through until about the last 2, you could start to resolve it, but create a little bit of tension. Let's see, do we want to keep going? Okay, here's a 2-4. How's this one go? Okay, that's a good place to stop because the next one goes into arpeggios. So I didn't follow my own rule there. You want to practice? I would try to keep the 2 and 4 down. I mean these 2 chords without lifting the 1 and 2. So you want to keep the accompaniment quiet. That it's the G all the way through. Keep that G quiet. Oops. Also, he has you play rest stroke on the double stop, so let's try that. Yeah, also you need to stop this, the E note. Yeah, the next one's an arpeggio. We won't include it, but what's this one? This one's hard. So that one is we'll look forward to that one because you have you're skipping strings in your arpeggio. So anyway, that's it. We'll pick it up at lesson 65 the next time. So this one officially ends at 64. So yeah, so focus on planting, focus on your elbow position to help you fret cleanly and to move fingers as needed. Think about your chord changes, moving fingers as needed, and what's the easiest. Um, Play isolate right hand and left hand. Keep your accompaniment quiet. Notice the accidentals which create tension in the piece. To use that to practice your dynamics. Practice rest strokes where indicated as a calisthenic. You don't have to play that way, but it's a good thing to practice to gain mastery of the instrument, help you get in the zone, all that type of thing. I really believe in that, by the way. Not to just practice how you're going to play, but to go through all these drills, and it makes you more versatile, get you into the zone, like I said. So I think that's it. So thanks for your attention. I'll see you next time.